Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, Smokey Joe arrived today. This is the Centenary anniversary version, and instantly nostalgia filled the air. It felt like 1991, Saturday morning cartoons, lemon warhead sweets, all the good stuff, well, not all the good stuff. There was these push pops.
I wish you'd come to the game, Dad, and give me a push. A push pop.
Yep, they were a thing, and yep, I'm making you watch it. It was different back then, especially with shell suits. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google's your best friend. But yeah, it arrived. I was really just couldn't wait to get it down onto the tracks. And for £35.99 on the early pre-order, as you can see, there's a couple of the locals here in that sort of price range. I really just, I couldn't go wrong. I was going to skip past it, but I thought, why not? At the end of the day, let's get it in the collection. If I don't use it, it can just sit there, but at least I can say I've got one. So yeah, it was right from Rails of Sheffield. Fantastic service as always. There's very little to choose between them and Hattons for me, but Rails of Sheffield I was browsing on, and there it was. So it came well packed as always. I can't fault their packing. The biggest problem with the packing is you just can't wait to get it open when you're trying to do the review. But here we go. This isn't going to be like a review as such of how many pickups and all this type of thing. It's just to basically show you what this loco is. It is in essence a child's basic loco. They're one of the first locos you're going to get when you start getting into model railways, and it's a one that most of us had as children. Again, that's why I loved it, and I love the retro box. I think it's fantastic, really good. But I do like the fact there's a little flap that they've added on this box, which I didn't realize straight away. There's the code. It's R3822, Smokey Joe. And you've got all your usual jargon on the back of the box. If you want to read that, I'm not going to make you. Yeah, lovely packaging. Nice little shine to it as well. As I say, very retro. And I just love the picture. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I know I say absolutely fantastic a lot in my horrendous Welsh accent, but hey, I can't help it. So yeah, I'll open the flap for you to have a look. That's so you can have a look inside and you see it. It already looks lovely in the packaging. And you still got to remember the price point. The price point is fantastic. I'm sure some people out there will have a gripe about it. But then again, Argos, which a lot of people buy Hornby stuff from, are still got the original of Smokey Joe. And I think they're charging like 35 quid with the delivery. And that's the original one. This is a lovely little thing. So as usual, packed really well. You got your polystyrene, your retro polystyrene, because a lot of them come in like a vacuum pack. You've got the plastic shield over the front of it. In the circle in the top left, you got your crew. So be careful with the knife. If any children are watching this and you're thinking, oh, I'll open it up, don't use a knife, get your parents to do that for you. And that's what they used to say on TV when I was a kid. So I'm going to open this up in the most painfully slow manner ever, because me and packaging don't go well together. And you got the hole in the back of the box to push it out, which I always forget about. And the first thing I noticed when I finally do get it out of the box, there we are. It's quite a heavy loco. It's probably heavier than I remember. Obviously, I don't have the original to compare it to, and I'm sure there will be videos out there where they do a side-by-side comparison. But just looking at it on its own merits, there's a lot of detail there. There's a lot of differences from this and the original. As I say, it's quite a heavy loco. I love the handrails. You got a little bit of pinstripe in there. The smoke box door detail. The buffer beam looks fantastic. I wasn't sure whether these were painted on or the rails were painted on or not, but they're not. They're separately fitted parts. Obviously, you got no NEM couplings or anything like that, but then again, it's the price range. Separately fitted whistles as well. As you could probably tell by my overexcited tone getting higher and higher. Before I even got it on the track, I absolutely loved it. So she's on the track. What I'll do is I will quickly show you how it runs out the box. It's a bit jittery, which you've kind of got to expect. And yeah, as you can see, it's a bit jittery there, but that will smooth out with the running in. I tend to do the running in on all my locos first before I'll critique them, because you just don't know what they're going to be like after running in. But yeah, it's starting to get there, a little bit smooth. smoother than it was anyway. It was just so jittery out of the box. But like I say, it takes time in. So I've done a 10 minutes forwards, 10 minutes reverse, and then repeated the process. As you can see, it's very, very smooth. And one thing I'll have to say about this is quiet. I was genuinely surprised at how quiet this was. I didn't expect it to be that quiet. But one thing it's not, like the old one was, is as quick. They definitely geared it down. That's full speed. That's all you're going to get out of it. Which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping for it to, you know, be absolutely so quick you couldn't even see it. Like as if you drank 16 cans of Red Bull and you're taking a run down the road. I was really hoping it would be really, really quick. But I understand why it's not. I sort of get that. You know, they've done the gearing differently and everything now. It's more of the realism that they're going for. Although you got to bear in mind, as I say, mostly this is meant for small children. But yeah, it's very, very quiet. I'm quite surprised. You can see in the background is my little L&Y pug. And that is quite a loud loco. It is, compared to this one, it's very, very loud. But as I say, it's a very, very quiet runner. And now we're going to get coupled up. Now, one thing that I do notice, this is obviously on a first radius layout, which the curves are tighter, which means usually the locos can't pull as much weight. Now, if you take into account another pug-based loco that I have, Percy, although he is a child's toy, any more than 5 wagons on a first radius curves, and he just can't handle it. He almost stops and starts to wheel slip. If you start him on the curves, he'll just wheel slip and not go anywhere. But I'm happy to report there's no problems. This loco does keep its speed up all the way. And I am quite a big fan of first radius because I think it's something that can fit in most bedrooms for small, like, you know, small kids who are getting into the hobby, or even, you know, adults who live in a flat, in a built-a-bear or whatever. Not everybody has this massive amount of room. So I'm just going to add a few more wagons on here. This is just the wagons that are laying about. I didn't really want to just unbox everything, but we're going to take it up to 6. Which, as you can probably guess, is really nothing. It's just nothing for this loco. I could probably have put 12, 14, and it wouldn't have made any difference. But it's quite a small loop, so I didn't see the point in that. But no problem at all for it. Unfortunately, I've still got my wonky dapple wagons out, which during me shooting this, you didn't see it. But the wagons of the dapple, wagons, they derailed, which was an absolute pain in the ass. I still can't get over how pants they are, but there we are. That's just one of those things. So yeah, absolutely lovely little loco, from my opinion anyway, which, you know, may not count for much. But as someone who's new to the hobby, you know, who's building a small layout, who this loco is probably more aimed at, I think you can't really grumble at the price point, the performance. It's fantastic. But hey, it may not be brilliant on a massive layout. It may struggle on express points. Those are things that I can't help you with. Those are things that I can't review, but I can only review what I see in front of me. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who are like me, who've got my space. They're using first radius curves. They don't want to spend a couple of £100 every time on a loco. And this just fits the bill. It's grown up enough, but like slightly childish, but still nostalgic. And I think, you know, collectors, I think there's going to be a lot of people with big expensive collections that are going to put this little loco in. But as you can see now, I've just tacked Annie and Clarabelle on the back just to put more weight on it. No problem. No problem on those first radius curves. And they are tight curves as well. I've got other locos that do struggle. Now, one thing that it does seem to have a problem with, and that's low speed point work. Now, bearing in mind at this point, it has been running for 20 minutes pretty much each way when you take into account, and also a lot of running with wagons and stuff. But as you can see, it's not happy on the points. At a bit more speed, it's very happy, but lower the speed, it really does struggle. And what I'll do is I'll give you a comparison of the little L&Y Pug, which is a much shorter wheelbase and generally quite known for getting stuck on points. And although it's a bit more noisy, you'll see it doesn't struggle as much as Smokey Joe seems to. Smokey Joe's just not liking those points. And just for the thing, I did check on some other points to see if it was just those points, if they were dirty or anything, but it was the same problem. So I'm going to show you here now. Look, much slower. It's much more comfortable, which is surprising. Very surprising. And if you've been watching this channel, you know this is my absolute favourite little loco. That was a pre-order from last year's new editions, which just sort of turned up one day. But yeah, this little loco, little L&Y pug, is very, very happy on the points compared to Smokey Joe. It just really does struggle, which is a bit of a shame. But to be fair, I don't think most people who are going to be using it are going to be doing some realistic low-speed shunting. As you can see, it's got a bit of the jitters there again. Got stuck a bit there. You do have to crank up the power to get it to go over them smoothly. But as I say, I don't think many people are going to be realistic shunting with him. I don't think that's what they bought it for. It's either for a bit of nostalgia, or it probably been bought for children as well. Not everyone is going to keep these in the case and celebrate them. You know, the box is going to go in the bin. They're probably going to put it on their railway and go run out to get something, come back in, kick it off the tracks, or the pets are going to knock it over. And I'm sure for that it'll be quite a robust model. I'm not going to test that. I'm not gonna crash test it. I already have a crash test video on here, which didn't go down too well with many people. But yeah, yeah, it's a great loco for the price. What can I say? If you want more in-depth into it and want to know why we need pickups and how to service it and all those things, you can look in the manual. I'm sure you can look online. It's probably the same for all 4.0s, to be honest. But before the video ends, we'll have another little close-up of it, so you can see. If you are on the fence about buying them, one of these, I'd say you should. For the hell of it, why not? What have you got to lose? Great price point. It looks good in the collection. It's got a nice bit of weight to it. But I think a lot of people are sold out on these at the moment, so I'm not sure when the next batch is coming in. I have noticed, and I don't know if anyone's doing them for the $35.99 that I paid. But still, I think the price point's $39.99. You know, it's still really, really cheap when you consider. I think it's definitely worth it. So yeah, that's about it from me today, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Am I babbling on? But I like to make my views are a little bit different, and I think that, you know, having experienced people review things is fantastic. But you're not always going to have those experiences when you're new to something, you know. For me, I think this is a fantastic model. And someone my sort of experience would think the same. But to someone else, they may think it's, you know, not that detailed, not that great, not using an old chassis, you know, using old this, old that, recycled parts. It's not a new tooling, whatever the things may be. But I like to judge things as they come out the box. And that's all you can do. You can only judge what's in front of you. I'm not going to judge its history or any of those other things. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to do more videos and get them up quicker, but I don't want to just make them for the sake of it, because people will start watching. And obviously a huge thank you to everyone who's watching my videos and, like, you know, liking and subscribing and all those types of things. It just makes me want to make more videos for you guys. So hopefully I will see you in the next one. If you've got anything that you want to say, put in the comments. I do read the comments. I do interact, and hopefully I'll have another video in the next couple of days.